What's up with it, man? Polo Sports Talking ENT here again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications so that you're able to get all of my content. Now, Jalen Rose had talked about Kobe Bryant on a podcast, and he was talking about how Kobe Bryant was resented by his teammates. And the reason why a lot of people might have resented Kobe Bryant or envied him, even his own teammates, was not something that you might not expect. It was because they envied how hard this man would work. They envied the type of blood, sweat, and tears that this guy had gave to the game. Which really doesn't really even need to be said. Okay, but the reason why this is polo motivation is because it correlates to what I'm talking about right now as a whole. Even the ones that are closest to you, when you're successful and when you trying to make a name for yourself or trying to be successful, trying to move up that ladder, so to speak, and be at the top, the people closest to you are going to envy you and they're going to resent you, not not because of what you've achieved or how much money you have or any of that, but they're going to resent you because of how hard that you work. You know, some people, some people, they sit back and they watch and they criticize, and they don't criticize constructively. They criticize to downplay what you're doing, right? They don't support you. They don't support you and what you're doing or anything like that, but they'll criticize you. And that right there was probably a lot of what Kobe had received. Like when he came in, don't get me wrong, people were calling Kobe, they were wanting him to be the next heir apparent and everything and stuff like that. But there were a lot of things that were said to Kobe, even his own teammates. I can remember, of course, the story about him and Shaquille. Don't need to go into that or anything, but you know, he would make little references about him, calling him showboat and stuff like that. But that was really taking a jab at him and stuff. I mean, it's stuff like that. But the thing about what you have to understand is that he never really let that shake him. And a lot of y'all, what y'all do is if it's a person that you're really closest to that envies what you're doing, that resents what you're doing, or resents how hard that you work, a lot of y'all let that shake you. You let it break you. You let it destroy you emotionally. Especially for my fellas out there, man. You can't let certain words or the actions of certain people throw you off. And that's the thing. It's actually supposed to make you more successful. Now he came to his senses that he would never get 6 rings. Although he was trying to do what he did. What's up with it, Sonny? I see you in the building. Although that's what he was trying to do, but he came to the realization that, okay, look, I'm great regardless if I have 5 rings or whether I have 6 rings or whether I have 7 rings or whatever. He's still great, and that's what you have to do. We sit here too much and try to compare ourselves to others and try to get in other people's lane when you should really just be staying in your lane. But see, that's the problem. See, a lot of people. That's why a lot of people are going to resent you and envy you and be jealous of you and try to knock you off of your square or your center. You understand what I'm saying? And a lot of y'all are too mentally weak. Y'all are fertilized with all of this weak stuff in your brain to the point where you have you have no other option except to display weakness. When really that is the time when you should be displaying strength, because your strength comes by what you go through. When Kobe was going through what he went through, and I'm talking about not only the the rigors of him coming in to the NBA and him trying to find his way and everything, because it was a tough road. Him being on the bench, he had to sit on the bench. They threw him a bone every now and then. Pause. They gave him some playing time here and there and stuff. He'd come out there, dazzle the crowd and everything, and then they pull him back out and everything. But guess what? He never let that bother him. You know why? Because he consistently stayed in the gym. And that's why, like, I don't even like to speak on a Mamba mentality, because some of y'all don't even possess that Mamba mentality. Y'all possess a mummy mentality, meaning that you too scary to do what is necessary. But when Kobe was going through what he was going through, right? And I'm talking about the Colorado situation and stuff. He pretty much was getting booed everywhere that he went. And see where I'm going with this, right? He was getting booed by the arenas and being talked about, being stabbed in the back. You know what I'm saying? People smiling in his face, but stabbing in his back at the same token. They'll be like, "Ha ha, yeah, I like, you cool with me," and stuff like that. And then when he turns his back, "Oh man, I don't like this dude or whatever. I'm gonna try to do everything that I can to pull him down." And then not only do you have the people from the outside, but then you also have the people in house that's trying to destroy you too. And that's what he was dealing with. They envied him because he was still able to uphold a level of not only professionalism, but a level of sheer hard work that said, okay, hey, look, regardless of whatever is is going on in my life, regardless of what's taking place, I'm still gonna go out here. I'm still gonna put out my jumpers. I'm still gonna go ahead. I'm still gonna hit the weights. I'm still gonna go out here. I'm still gonna run my miles. I'm still gonna go out here and I'm still gonna perform. And a lot of y'all are not capable. You're not capable of that. A lot of you are capable of that, but you're not doing it. You know, he outworked everybody. Yes, he was talented, but he outworked everybody. He outworked and see, some people don't know this, but this is a true fact right here. He wanted to outwork Michael Jordan and did outwork Michael Jordan to the point where Michael Jordan will work out to a point, but Kobe was trying to work out to pure exhaustion. And that's what you have to do in life. You have to work yourself to pure exhaustion. Now, some people don't know how to reach that threshold of exhaustion, or going going to a to the highest limit. But there are other people that can, but they choose not to. And in order for you to see any type of results and everything, sometimes it's gonna take that blood, sweat, and tears. You're gonna have to have people around you that are gonna tell you all sorts of negative comments, and that are gonna resent you and stuff like that. Some people may not talk to you. Hey, that's fine. Your silence has got to be golden. Your silence has got to be golden. And that's what Kobe did. He piped down and he did what was necessary. And a lot of guys, they see that as admirable. Now, this is the thing too, because I lived and I witnessed it and I saw it during that time. There were very few people that really liked Kobe, you know, but the people that actually liked Kobe, believe it or not, they were inside of the NBA. They listen. A question was asked, I think, to it was, I think it was two people though. It was to Amari Stoudemire and Steven Jackson, and they were asked, at that time, who's the best player in the NBA, and they would really clearly look at them like they were stupid. I think it was him, Al Harrington, Steven Jackson, guys like that. They'd be like, "Man, are you serious? That's a stupid question. It's Kobe Bryant, and that told you a lot right there. That told you that, okay, well, all these people are calling him, the R word, that you know that has to do with sexual misconduct, stuff like that. They were calling him that. They were calling him, a cheater and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Saying stuff about him, but it never threw him off. Those were people that were saying that outside, from the outside looking in. But when you actually look at, beneath the surface, you had guys within that fraternity, within the NBA fraternity, that had Kobe's back. Because believe it or not, Kobe wasn't the only one that was going through, trials and tribulations in terms of, what he went through in his relationship and stuff like that. There were other guys that had stuff that was going on with the law, and outside of basketball and stuff like that. They had plenty of criminal stuff that was going on, but it's just that Kobe Bryant at that time, he was a superstar, and he was the best player in the NBA and everything, and you know they wanted to do everything they could to destroy this man. They wanted to do everything that they could to destroy this man, and more importantly, all these guys. There were people that were doing a lot of things. Jason Caffey, man, I think he owed so much money in terms of child support, and fathered I don't know how many kids or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But they never talked about it because he wasn't that main guy. What's up with it, T Price? I see you in the building. They never really talked about it. But because Kobe was doing commercials, he was doing, he had endorsements. He was with Nike, McDonald's, Sprite, all these companies that pretty much, they pulled him because they advertised the kids and stuff like that. And so they wanted to destroy him And what that did, it took a psychological effect. But guess what? The people that were within house and stuff like that, they envied him too. They envied him too. So what you have to understand is that the people that stick around, and this is my last point, the people that stick around you the most, believe it or not, they're actually going to stick around you just just to see you fail and to see your downfall. They're not going to stick around to hear what you have to say. They're not going to stick around to support you or any of that. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, they're going to stick around so that they can criticize you and tell you certain things that to throw you off your center or whatnot. And that's what Kobe was dealing with. But he knew better. He was too intelligent for all that. He was just too intelligent for that to to let people throw him off. And he knew people were trying to do everything that they could to destroy him, even the people closest to him. And I'm not even gonna get into that because I got a lot to say about that. But I'm gonna just keep it YouTube friendly in that regards. But this was Polo Motivational. Like this video, share it, subscribe, hit the notifications too. Until then, man, Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. I'll get at you later.